asalaamaaleykum mbokk yi ñu ngi leen a nuyu di leen dalalaat si beneen video on the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel mu ngi ko leen defee rek every Monday or Tuesday ñu ñëw jox leen weekend recap bi seet naka la suñ foreign based players yi Gambia foreign based players yi naka la gars yi performé over the course of the weekend so again we are back with that edition of the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. Yeah, also I would like to mention before I get into the discussion, the Gambia Football League has started, and of course the Jollof Football Bantaba this season we will try to cover the Gambia Football League. During the course of the week, Coach Che will come and give you guys a recap of the league, the first round games of the Division One league, and yeah, hopefully we can manage to squeeze that into our tight schedules, and then we will cover that as well. So watch out for that. And yeah, if you haven't seen the other videos, yesterday we recorded the Gambia football shows talking about some interesting topics about Gambian football. Coach himself recorded about. The Scorpion squad bu Tom name the squad that Tom name for the double header against Burundi and Ivory Coast. Burundi we play them on Thursday and Ivory Coast next week. So if you want to hear his thoughts on that, please check on the Jara Football Bantaba YouTube channel, guys. Without wasting your time, guys, let's get into the weekend recap, and we will start in Latvia this week. Latvia, Alfuseni Jata. It's been a while since we see him playing. Since March, he has not played football because he had a very serious knee issue. If you remember well, he caught that injury whilst he was on international duty for the Gambia. So since then, he has not kicked a ball. But he is on his road to recovery. Hopefully, we will see him next season. This weekend, he has something to cheer about. His club, RFS, they become the champions of Latvian League just by just 1 point, which is a very, which is a great feeling to be a league title winner. He was a very crucial player for them at the start of the season. He was starting regularly in their defensive midfield and last season as well. So it was so unfortunate that they could not use his services this season. But nonetheless, his team, knuckle that down, and then they become the champions. And Alfuseni is a champion himself, and so we would like to congratulate him and wish him speedy recovery on his injury. Congratulations, Alfuseni Jata. Next, we move to Sweden. Another champion, we have Joseph Cisse. We all know he's the brother of Jesper Cisse. He plays for Malmo. Malmo to become the champions of the Swedish league in a very dramatic fashion, because going into the final day of the season, Malmo were 3 points behind the leaders, and they happened to play each other in the final game. That was Elfsborg. Mauro Jaju plays for Elfsborg. He's in that team. Even though recently he has not been playing. Joseph himself, he did not play the final game. He was injured. But they came out on top. They won that game 1-0, which was very close, and they won the league on goal difference. So we would like to say congratulations to Mauro Jaju. And in the same league, his brother played for Norrköping. We know that he was not available for their game this weekend. But MLCC, Molamin Sonko rather, the player we have been talking about to invite to the national team, Tom tried. I don't know. It was unfortunate that on his press conference, nobody asked him about that, because we all know he was trying to convince the kid to come and represent Gambia. But he was in action as well for his team, Hackens. They lost their final game of the season. He played the whole game. And that's it. And then finally, still in Sweden, we have Steve. We all know he also was suffering a very bad injury, and until recently, he played his first game. I think that was 3 weeks ago, and last week he started his first game. He followed that start with another start, but there is some interesting reports coming out. Of course, the club, Hammarby, they have already confirmed that his contract has ended. So there are some talks, according to the journalists, according to those who know something inside this story. They say there are discussions to sign a new contract. So it could be possible that yesterday was his final game for Hammarby, but I at Jollof Football, I don't know actually what are the details of that. So we will we will just keep tabs on that and see how it goes. But yeah, it was good to see Steve starting a game, back-to-back games. He played another another 60 minutes, they drew the game 2-2. He was not involved in the goals, but just to see him playing football again, because he's somebody he is very dear to Gambian football fans. They really love watching him play. So seeing him back in action and starting games again is really, really something that we are very happy to see. Unfortunately, he was not included in the national team squad, which is very understandable because he's coming back from injury. There are other players who have been playing very well in form and stuff like that. So for his exclusion in that team, I think nobody really questioned that, because he's just coming back from a very bad injury. I'm sure maybe himself he don't even feel ready to come back for the national team, but that is just me saying, just me guessing. But it's good to see him back. Now we will watch the space and see where he ends up, since his contract at Hammarby has just concluded, has just ended. The season has ended in Sweden. Like I say, Malmo are the champions. And next we move to Switzerland. Switzerland, Ebrima Colley. He also, he is new to that club. He only played 6 games so far in the league, and he got his start for them. And this was actually his first 90 minutes that he played for young boys in the league. He had played 90 minutes in the cup, but in the league, this was the first time they played him. They gave him the whole 90 minutes, and he did not disappoint at all. He was man of the match. If you look at the ratings in SofaScore, you look at the rating in Flash Score, they all rated him as like higher than anyone in the game. So which means he was the star player in that game. He scored and assisted. That also really helped. And then he got the 90 minutes. They won the game 6-1, which is really cool to see. He's also somebody very important to the national team. We have just invited Tom has just invited him for the World Cup qualifier. So to come up with this kind of form into the national team is something that will be very, very helpful for the national team. So Ebrima Colley, nice. It's good to see that. Django Seydi was on the bench for that game. Of course, we saw him play against Manchester City in the Champions League in midweek. So maybe the coach was rotating his team, but of course, Janko is quite an important player in that team, so it could just have been a rest or something. I hope it has nothing to do with injury, or it has nothing to do with like dropping. It was just a rest after a very difficult game against Manchester City, traveling to England, playing against Man City. So equally, goal and an assist. Long may it continue. Now he has 3 goal involvement in his 6 games he played for them, which is not bad. It's not a bad tally. He does not start all the games. He only started 3 games. So in other words, you can say 3 attacking returns in 3 starts in the league. That is a very, very good return, and I'm sure this goal and assist will only do him good when after the international break, for him to become a more regular player in the team, which we would like to see, because like I say, he's an important player for the Gambia. He's often starting in Tom's system, and the African Cup of Nations is coming after this World Cup qualifiers, so it would be nice to see him nail a spot in that 11, in that young boys 11. But what he did this weekend will not do him any harm in helping him do that. Ebrima Colley. And then next we move to Estonia. Another Ebrima Jaju, goalkeeper for Paide. Their season also ended. They finished the season just outside the European spot. They finished 4th. They were tied on points with Kalev, that is Fore Traware's Kalev. Talina Kalev, they were tied on points, but Kalev just edged them on goal difference or something like that. I don't know what is the system in Estonia. Is it goal difference or is it head to head? I am not entirely sure about that. But they ended their season, and Boubacar Tambedu, he has been in exceptional goal scoring form. He scored again, 4 games in a row. He's scoring. I'm sure he's wishing that the season just keep continue and going, because like the form he is on right now, he has scored if you stretch it to the last 6 games, he has scored in 5 of the last 6 games that he played, and then he has scored in each of the last 4 games that he played. Boubacar Temedo is been in exceptional form. I don't know. Estonia is not a league that Thompson Field really fancy that much. That's why he does not look at those players. but they are doing really well in their clubs, and that's all they can do. All they can do is speak, do their talking on the pitch, playing football, doing very well, and if they don't select them, then they just have to take it with good faith. But it's like as fans ourselves, we are not entirely happy seeing Ebrima, especially Steck, with the season he's having. He just won the Player of the Year for Paide. Like as someone who follows the Gambian foreign-based players, every player in terms of their form and all those kind of things. Because basically this is why I started doing the team of the month and then the player of the month on the Jollof Football Bantaba, because it gives me an idea of who is on form, and then you can relate between this month to the next month, the past month, and then you can see the players that are really playing. But again, I just want to know, because in the past people keep saying Tom just have his fixed players, which is very true now. It is proven that he has his fixed players that he want to pick, and that's the players he's going to pick, unless and until the player is exceptional at some level, he give them chance. For example, I'm sure if Molamin Sonko of Hackens accepted his invitation, I'm sure Tom would have invited him, despite everything he said. Likewise, Mahdi Kamara, when he tried to invite them, he would have given those people the chance. So maybe he does not really rate players when they come in out from the Gambian league and then going. I don't know. To be honest, it's difficult to gauge it. What he does, but Ibrahim Jaju, or maybe also he's thinking about the leagues they are playing on. But to be honest, at the end of the day, it's just not fair sometimes. Ibrahim Jaju, he has been one of the best goalkeepers for Gambia. For the last 3 months, 2 of the last 3 months, he has been the best goalkeeper. If you look at his numbers, if you look at his performances, the amount of clean sheet that he was keeping, how well his club was doing, and all those kind of things, he has been the best goalkeeper for Gambia. So if I look at the last 3 months, he has been number 1 for Gambia. But of course, Tom has his choices. He can always pick his choices and do whatever he wants with that. But yeah, Ibrahim Jai has a good claim, and all he can do is play football, do well on the pitch, and then hoping for a chance. But that chance is quite hard to come by for him, which is very unfortunate. But he is the player of the year for Paide, which is just a testament to what he has done for them this season. Last season he was their player of the year. This year he's their player of the year. How consistent can you be as a goalkeeper to have a chance, to have a shot at representing your national team? Maybe he needs to play at Manchester City before Tom considers him, which is not, but it's just sad that he's doing exceptionally well in his club football. And then you look at the goalkeepers that we have on the ranks. His first choice goalkeeper, like I say, he is not playing football. I can say in the last 3 months or 4 months, since August, our goalkeeper Babukar Gay played 2 club games and 1 international game. That is Gambia's international game. It's not like I'm undermining what Babukar Gay can do, or as a goalkeeper, how good he is. I think he's an exceptional goalkeeper, and I accept Tom's logic behind picking him all the time, because he has done it for them. But also you have to give opportunity to others, because if you look at him, if you look at Steck, you compare him to the other goalkeepers that are going. Toldo, maybe he's there for his experience. Like, okay, fine, he's there for his experience. He will help the kids. He has been there. He has done it for a very long time. So sometimes you can understand those kind of selection. But when you compare Steck and the 3rd choice goalkeeper or the 2nd choice goalkeeper, which is Lamin Sarr of Sweden. Lamin Sarr, who's playing in Sweden, 2nd division, 3rd division, stuff like that. Steck is playing at a higher level. Yes, not a higher country level. Like Sweden is a better league than Estonia. I can accept that. But Steck is playing at the top tier of Estonian league. And what is his name? Lamin Sarr is playing at a lower league in the Swedish league. So if you tally them, I would say Steck just edged it in terms of league, and in terms of performance, Steck edged that one too. So maybe it's like I said, Tom find it easier to work with players who are coming from abroad than players who are coming from the Gambia. I don't know why. Maybe he just fancy them more. But again, it's his choice. And as far as it is working for him, it is okay. Because we just want to see the country go forward. But just, I'm just gutted that Ebrima Jaju's Tech is not given the chance to represent his country, which is not cool, to be honest. I've been rambling about Ebrima Jaju's Tech too much. But anyways, let's just move on to the next league we will talk about. I will say let's go to England. Ibu Ture, of course, he's not in the national team selection, but it's good to see him back playing and assisting. He actually came on earlier than he would have expected because their left back they had an injury in their team, and then the coach had to call on him early on in the first half. He actually came on in the first half, and then created the assist that equalized, that helped them equalize, gave them the equalizer before they turned the game against Seydou Kan's Swindon Town. That game ended 4-2. Seydou Khan himself, he created a couple of goals. He assisted both goals for Swindon, and Ibu Colley, Ibu Ture. I'm so bad with names, guys. Ibu Ture assisted the goal for the second goal for Stockport. Stockport at the top of the League 2, so they have a high chance of going into the League 1. And in the same league, Wrexham we are also in action. They won 2-0. Jacob Meni, he and his club, they continue their exceptional form. They have been in very, very, very good form. Wrexham, Jacob assisted their second goal. He has been doing very well, playing left and covering something at the right. He was injured for a while. It will be interesting to see if Tom considers him for that left back spot, because currently, if you look at the left back available for the national team, it's Jacob and Ismaila Jom. Even though Ismaila Jom has been termed as a defender according to Tom, but Jacob has been termed as a midfielder according to Tom when he was announcing his squad. I was so skeptical about that. Why is Jacob not a left back? He has always been a left back all his life, but now we are counting him as a midfielder, same as Daudangom. Daudangom, of course, we know he plays him in the middle sometimes, but sometimes he uses him at right back. He's versatile. But why Jacob in midfield? I was so skeptical about that. So those are the two recognized left back we have, Jacob and Ismaila. Ismaila, to be honest, I check his league that he's playing. I cannot even follow that league, to be honest, and then coming here to update because it's so. Of course, he's in America. Yeah, America, big country, but the league is not good enough, to be honest. The league he's playing at, and he's not even starting, so it's difficult to follow that kind of players. You are playing in the national leagues or stuff like that. I don't follow the national leagues too much. I just try to follow the actual leagues of the country. And if you happen to play there, then I follow you, like with all my with everything I have. But if you are playing in the lower leagues, national leagues or stuff like this, those things I don't. Even in England, I don't follow them in the national leagues. I know when they do well. Sometimes I retweet, but I don't follow them like very, very with all attentiveness, to be honest. Ibu Ture, it's good to see Ibu Ture back in action, playing again. Hopefully he will be fit by the time we go to the AFCON. He will miss this 2 double header, but hopefully, because he's like one of the most consistent players we have in our team, and he's at the position that we don't have a strong luxury on. Like Jacob is a good player, like I say, but he has not had the experience to play there for a long time. So it's gonna be a worry actually in the game that we play against Burundi and Ivory Coast with that left back spot. Mofal, he also played this weekend, but they lost the game 2-0. He did not score. He played the 90 minutes, and then you go to League 1. Cambridge, they lost very heavily, 5-0. Sekou Jane started the game, but he was substituted in the second half. And in the championship, Ibu Adams, this is the third game running. He did not have any minutes. He was on the bench throughout. He has only got like about 90 minutes in his last 8 games. Less than 90 minutes he has played in his last 8 games. And of course, he will come and start for the national team. And he's a very good player, of course. And he's training at a very good level. So maybe we should not be worried too much, especially with the midfield problems that we are having right now. Ibuture is not our biggest problem right now. But yeah, it will be nice to see him getting minutes at Cardiff. It will be difficult because of the injury that he had in the past. But yeah, you just want to have some minutes on his legs and stuff like that, football minutes with the whole like my fitness and stuff like that, you know. Because if you don't have that, you come to play a full 90 minutes for the national team. It's gonna, the toll is gonna take on you at some point. But he's a strong boy. He's a good runner. He's very energetic. Hopefully, that will do that will help him in these two fixtures. But I'm a bit worried about his time, his playing time, and I'm sure we're gonna use him. So he's an important player for the top system. We move to France. Germano, again with another exceptional play. This time not a goal but an assist. That was an exceptional assist outside of the foot from the middle of the pitch. Completely opened their defense, completely open, created a chance for Simon, who scored for them. To give them the second to give them the lead again after the opponents equalized. So yeah, he's picking up form at the right time, starting games at the right time, because we all know one of the most important players in the Gambia. If you remember the the African Cup of Nations qualifier, the final game when we played against Congo. When he came on, everything changed, everything clicked, everything was going in the right direction for Gambia. It was all Germano. He came in and everything was good. So yeah, it's good to see him back on form, playing regularly, which of course will help him. At least he will come. Maybe he's fit to play from the start for the national team. So that is a welcome boost for the national team. And next, we go to Turkey. Ebrima Colley. Omar Korirara, captain of the team. We saw him. He was back on the bench for his club, Besiktas. I think Coach Edge said if he was not even fit, the club will not have allowed him to come. So it's good to see him back on the bench. He did not come on, but just to see him on the bench means he is ready to play. Hopefully, he has some form of fitness when he comes to the national team. But again, it's a little bit of worry for him coming into the national team. Ali Sow, same place in Turkey. They were in action. They lost their game 4-0 at home. Ali played 90 minutes, Of course, we have already talked a lot about Ali. He's not Tom's favorite. So yeah, and the less said there, the better. Next, Mo Barrow. Mo Barrow, he was also in action for Silver Sport. He did not play actually. He was not in the squad. I don't know why. If it is an injury or something, but they lost the game to 3-0. And next we move to Slovakia. Mahmoud Bayo. I think Gambia. Everyone is really happy to see him in the national team squad. But I'm more happy what he's doing at his club level at the moment. To be honest, the boy is playing week in week out, 90 minutes every time. His club are doing exceptionally well. One of the top teams in the Slovakian top tier, Port Brezova, and the boy is doing very well. This weekend they played again. They won 2-0. He played in the defensive midfield spot and they won 2-0, kept the clean sheet. Another win for them, another one in the back, and now we will see him in national team colors. Hopefully he will make his debut for the national team over the next 2 weeks in the international break. We are very excited about him. I'm very excited about this kid because he's a very, very good player. And elsewhere in Slovakia, in the second division, Pohronai, they lost their fourth game in 9 matches. They have been in exceptional form. Musa Jata and Bakari Jawara. Bakari Jawara actually scored his first goal for his club in Slovakia Division 2. That is Pohronai, but they lost the game 4-2. That was their first loss, like I say, in 9 matches. And next we will talk about the boy Yanko Minte. Of course, we all know he's nursing an injury at the moment, and but he's close to coming back. He started training. He said that in his video recently. So hopefully after the international break, we will see him back to action, and we can wait to see him. But over the course of the week, there was some developments from the Newcastle Chronicles. They were speaking about his chance, like Eddie Howe, willing to recall him from his loan spell at Feyenoord. Of course, Eddie Howe didn't say that he would recall them, but he is assessing all his players that he has, and Yanko Minte happens to be one of those players. And if you see, Newcastle are struggling with injuries and suspensions. If you look at their midfielder, Trawally is suspended. Almiron this weekend, he got a hamstring injury. They are struggling for numbers, and of course, they are playing in the Champions League. They are playing in the Premier League, which like in England, the number of games you play, Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, and all those kind of things, all surrounding. And Newcastle is not a big squad. So if you look at the depth of that squad, it's very thin. The depth of the squad is thin. So it is only wise for the coach to start thinking about players that they have on loan. And they also, not only that, they Newcastle are facing a very difficult situation because I think the Premier League clubs, they voted against loaning players with relation, like club to club. For example, Newcastle are owned by the Saudis, so they cannot loan player from a Saudi club. Like if their owner have a stake in the in the other club, they cannot loan. They cannot do a loan deal. So that is what the Premier League they have ruled. That is the rule that they were about to discuss. I've not got to the bottom of it, but Newcastle might not be able to get players. For example, Ruben Neves played at Al Hilal. Newcastle were considering loaning him to Newcastle. So now that is not going to be possible because of that rule that the Premier League clubs they have agreed upon. So that's why they have to look within themselves. What do we have? Who are the players we have? Who are the players we send on loan? And then we try to bring those players. That's why I'm sure Eddie Howe is considering bringing Yanko Minte. And of course, not only that, the boy has been exceptional. He has been one of the top players in the Netherlands league. So his football is also, taking notice. If he was not doing well, they will not even, they will not even be talking about him. Actually, I heard he was in Newcastle. He traveled to Newcastle for them to assess his injury situation and stuff like that. And anyhow, was saying, he will think what is best for the club. In terms of are those players ready to come and represent them? What is best for the players' development? Understand? So all those kind of things. For me personally, this is a personal opinion. I think this kid has in the game he has excelled. Not excelled in the sense that he has reached his potential, no, but because we all know he has the chance already. Like he has the chance that not many Gambian players have, not many people from Gambia or Africa usually have. They have the opportunity to showcase their talent. So he has already been, established as a footballer now. He's a footballer. Everybody knows he's a footballer. Journalists will take notice, coaches will take notice. He is that player already. So it's not a matter of if they don't take his chance now, it's gonna, he's not gonna have this chance again. It's not like that. So for me personally, what I think is staying at Feyenoord is better for him at this moment because the system is working for him. The coach is molding him into one of the top players. Of course, this kid he adapts very well. He went to Odense within months. He was one of the best players in the Danish league. He went to Holland within months. He's one of the best players in the league. But still, I just want a normal progression for him. At Feyenoord right now, taking that step to England is a massive step. Of course, sometimes players come from the Netherlands. It takes them time. It takes them time before they adapt to the Premier League. I'm not saying he's not gonna adapt, but there is that risk. So for that reason, I would rather let him have the whole year at Feyenoord in terms of development because in Feyenoord he's developing really good. So let him have that development. Then at the end of the season, then he can move to Newcastle. But now if you move to Newcastle are in a pressure situation. They are outside the top 4 of the Premier League. They might be out of the Champions League and they might be playing Europa League. Who knows? They might be. So all this the pressure is on them. So if they bring this kid there, they will always rely on the players they have. They will always rely on the main players they have. So I can't see him breaking into that team this season. I cannot see that happening. I love this kid. I know his potential. Understand? But I cannot see him breaking into the Newcastle team this season. So that will happen next season or something. So before you come and stop his development and then putting him on the bench every time, let him stay at Feyenoord because at Feyenoord he's now a starter. So that is not going to change. Unless he's injured, then they take him out. Or maybe the coach want to do some tactical changes, then they take him out. But otherwise, he is a starter in that team. So if you look at that, I would rather he stay there for me personally than go to Newcastle now. But of course, I'm not the one making the decision. This is just my personal opinion. Eddie Howe and Newcastle, they have the decision to make. It's their player. They will make that decision. But yeah, this is what I wish for the kid. I want to see him develop well, and I think his development is better off at Feyenoord than at Newcastle at this stage, at this point in his career. Yeah, and that's it. And other leagues, Hamburg, Bakary Jatta, he also assisted a goal for Hamburg in the weekend. They lost 4-2. If you go to Bulgaria, Nuha Sonko, he also we should talk about. He's back in the national team squad. He's in the national team squad rather, not back because he was there in the previous one. And he's back for his club. He played some minutes this weekend. He was on the bench, came off the bench, and then they won that game, 4-0. Seni Sanyang, his club, CSK Sofia, they are the top of the league actually in Bulgaria with 2 points ahead of Ludogorets. That is Nuha Sonko's Ludogorets with just 2 points ahead of them. But Ludogorets have a game in hand. And then you go to Denmark, Vejle, they won a very important game, crucial game, 1-0. Hamza Bari played in 90 minutes, and Musa Juara came off the bench. They won. Alassane Mane and others, they are struggling really badly. This is the 5th game in a row they have not won. So, yeah, it's been tough for them. But anyways, guys, we'll be back this week, inshallah. We'll be back with the, local league, that is the Gambia Football League. Chair will give you a recap of that this week. And also on Thursday is the Gambia versus Burundi. And we'll be back with a watch-along stream like we always do it. We will have a pre-game analysis, mid-game analysis, and post-game analysis. Whilst the game is going on, I'll be with you guys having a watch-along live stream. So do not miss those you do not miss those videos. And then you can also check the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. Yesterday the Gambia Football Show, like I say. And the interview we did with Willie, Real de Banjul president, we keep uploading the videos about, it's very inspirational to listen to one of the biggest or one of the best football owners in the Gambia. We can learn from him. I'm sure there are some people aspire to own a football club at some point. So you can check those videos. There are a lot of videos coming on the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. If you like what we do on the channel, guys, please give us a thumbs up. And, we always appreciate your comments. We always would like to hear your thoughts. And this week, we see many Gambians were in action. We would like to know who was your star player this week. Who do you think was the best performing Gambian? And anyways, guys, that's what I had for you guys today. So watch out for more on the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel over the next coming days. Until then, guys, goodbye.